Hallo, guten Abend, wie geht's? Uh, Guten Abend, mein Fräulein and her. Wie geht's? Sehr gut, sehr gut. We are back. We have a new route. This one is called Nahverkehr, Dresden, Riesa. And it gives us a 55-kilometer route between Dresden and Riesa. These are in the German state of Saxony. Uh, we get a lot of locals, especially if you have other DLC, German DLC, and other German routes. This one it's got a lot of traffic, and we're gonna start out. We're gonna do an ice service to Riesa, stopping in Dresden and the outskirts of Dresden. So we're gonna run with all the safety systems. Actually, we're not gonna run with SIFA today because we're gonna show you some cool views, and we got snow, and show you how to do this with no HUD. Just operating the BR406, and this will be the first of several videos for this route. Really excited. So let's get ready to get to it. Here we go. Let's get started. First of all, let's get the ICE 3 set up. Let's go in the back. That's the little cabinet behind the seat. Let's get in there. We're not going to run with SIFA today. There's a SIFA switch, but we'll leave it off. We'll turn the PZB on. LZB, there is no LZB section on this route, but I turned it on anyway. Just to confirm. But I think I read that there's no LZB on here. Yeah, we tinted the lounge window. Let's get the train going. First things first, let's get the reverser and forward.
Störung, Störung. Zugbeeinflussung. Die gesperrt.
Let's get these wipers on. I can barely even see which side the platform's on. It's on the right. I'm just gonna open the right doors.
Türen geöffnet.
That's red. Let's raise the pantograph to the wires. Let's close the circuit breaker. Okay. Now let's activate our AFB. Select 6. That's the speed selector. Allows us to use the little lever on the left. Let's set a destination. I think we're gonna use Frankfurt. I'm not sure if that's right, but we can change it if it's not. They don't give us a lot of choices here. Just set it to Frankfurt. Aiken. Get our lights on. I don't think we need cab lights in here. I think we got it under control. Let's get these doors closed. Alright, we got the PZB on. You see our signal up there says 6 above it. It's indicating our speed limit is 60. But since we have the PZB on, let's start off in 40 because once we hit 5 kilometers an hour, you're going to see the light in the dash, a little blue light jump from 85 to 70 back and forth. And that's just basically saying that our PZB system is in test. So when you can't exceed 45 kilometers an hour when that's doing that, or you get a brake penalty and it'll stop. So just remember the 6. That SIFA light is solid white, is staying on because we didn't turn it on. It's not activated. So we're not going to hear the SIFA alarms, alerts throughout this run. But of course, you should always run with your SIFA on. Well, we got a blinking green ahead. Let's change that signboard. I think we need to set that to say Bruxelles Midi. All green aspects on our signals ahead of us. Remember, you see all the signals, but you only worry about the one that's immediately to the right of your track. This sign right here with the numbers is your like a marker, your distance marker. There's an 8. That little small white sign with the 8 on it is telling us that our speed limit is now 80. We started off with the 6 that was indicated on the signal, and that little sign said 8, so we can get up to 80 kilometers an hour now. Like I said, these signs right here are markers. You take note of your stations or your destinations where you're going that have a marker posted, and you can keep track of where you are in the route or what stations you're between. Green aspects on these signals, just go. So really quick, the signal progression for German routes, it's greens, then it's a blinking green. You usually have to acknowledge usually a speed restriction or something. You probably have to slow down. It's something with a blinking green that you pay attention. From there it goes to a yellow, blinking yellow. You usually have to acknowledge those with PZB. Then you get solid yellows, which is telling you to prepare for red. You got to acknowledge those as well. And then the reds, you stop. That's danger. You usually can't go any further unless you know the signal controller allows you. And there's other exceptions if you're near terminal stations. Here's our first station up here. Kind of hard on the brake there. This is Dresden, Neustadt. Let's stop and let these people out. Beautiful station. See the passenger information boards there? Oh, that's the next train coming in after us, going to Grossenhain, RE18. And it's going to flip back to ours. There's ours, our information. We're ICE 1554. Alright, let's pull on out of the station and head on to Riesa. That H right there on this sign, that's usually where you should stop when you're pulling into the station. Just pull your the nose of the train up to the H. We're still at 80 kilometers per hour is our limit. Yep, there was an 8. There's another 8. Okay, yeah. Anytime you're using your AFB and it's your cruise control is on and you use your brake, you need to reset your throttle. Just turn it all the way off and then turn it back on to your desired throttle setting. anytime you use the brake. When you turn the brake off, your throttle, your AFB, there will be no traction on your train until you turn the throttle off and then turn it back on. These three stripes on these signs, that's 300 meters towards signal. There's 200 meters towards signal. 100 meters towards signal. There's your signal. That's all those mean. They're letting you know that a signal is coming out. Sometimes signals have little white lights next to the aspect. And that's basically saying another signal should be right behind you. Not too far. I think these are spaced out about 1 kilometer or more or so. That little white light on there will say that there's the next signal is probably much closer than the typical spacing. Cruising along at 80. Set that to 100. 300 meters. 200 meters. 100 meters. Now, on this signal, there was a R indicated. Now, that's something new about this route. I haven't seen that on any other German route. There are usually numbers in there indicating a speed restriction. I see a R there now. I'm not sure what that means. I've seen A's, I've seen N's. I'm not sure what those letters mean in those signals. I'll have to find out. This one has an R in it. So usually when you see numbers in there, if you see a 4 or 6 or 10, you multiply that number by 10 and it gives you, that's your speed limit. If the number is yellow in the box, that means the speed limit is upcoming, probably at the next signal or so. If it's white, that means it's being enforced at this signal. It's being enforced already. You need to be going that speed already. You'll usually see a yellow before you see the white. And other speed restrictions you'll see are yellow upside down triangles. There'll be big yellow upside down triangle signs with a number in it. Multiply that number by 10. That's the number you need to get down to. You need to acknowledge those the yellow signs and the speed restrictions 9 and under. I think 10s and up, you don't have to acknowledge them, but I acknowledge them anyway. There's no penalty for acknowledging a signal if you didn't have to acknowledge it, but if you were mistaken and you don't acknowledge it, you get, I think, 5 seconds to acknowledge it, and then you get 23 seconds to get down to that speed. And there are other magnets on the track. If you look next to your rail, you'll see little boxes. It's tracking to make sure if you're slowing down enough to get under that speed before that speed restriction. If not, PZB will slam, the 1000 hertz magnet, PZB magnet will slam your brakes and you will come to a stop. So these signals, you'll see little boxes on the ground next to the signal. That means it's a main signal. Sometimes they don't have magnets there. It's a repeater, like a distance signal, and it's repeating the condition of the next main signal. or whatever signal it's associated with. It's usually a main signal coming up that will have a magnet there. And it's basically giving you a heads up of the aspect of that main signal. So you see these little stripe signs, they're just indicators of upcoming signals in the increments of 100 meters. So this signal has A on it. I'm not acknowledging it. Nothing's happening. I'm going slow. I'm not doing full line speed right now. It's snowy out. Plus, taking my time trying to, explain the signaling and the signage. A lot of new people in the simulator. A lot of people I find on the forum. I talked to a few people where this is their first real German route that they're going to play since they've gotten Train Sim World. So I'm going to explain how to drive without the HUD. I've got other videos. There's an A in that signal. I've got other videos showing, explaining how I'm reading the signals and the signage, but here's a new one for Nahverkehr, Dresden, Riesa. Have a restriction here? Yes, there's a 13 on that speed restriction sign, so we acknowledge it. But being that it was over 9, the yellow light for the 1,000 hertz magnet didn't come on. We do have to get down to 130 kilometers an hour, but we were doing 120, 110, so we're okay. You're going to see the little speed sign come up with a 13 on it. You should see it any minute here. Here it is. So you just need to be doing that speed or less when you pass it. There's a 16. We just passed the speed sign with 16 on it, so we can get in here. 16 times 10, 160. We can set our AFB to 160. And being that we'd never hit the brakes, we could just we didn't have to reset the throttle. We had LZB on. LZB would read the signal, the speed for us, and adjust the train speed for us, slow us down, speed us up, whatever, as per whatever the line speed is. But no LZB on this one. Got to say, Dovetail did a great job on the update to make the signage a little more easier to read at night and in weather. Definitely noticeable. We got our speed restriction here, 14. So, all right, we need to get down under 140. On that brake. All right, that's 140. Let go of that brake. Turn the throttle off. We need need to set our AFB to 140. Throttle back on. There we go. Another speed restriction, 12. Alright, we need to get under 120. Come on now, slow it down. Okay, get under 120. Turn that brake off. Set the AFB to 120. Alright, throttle off and back on. Let's see, where's the speed sign? 12, okay. So now we're doing 120. On the signal posts themselves are little white and red stripes and blocks. They all mean something. If you look in the manual for any of the German routes, they go into detail. They explain all the signage. I think that has something to do with if a person controls that signal, or if you can, if it's automatic or something like that. But those little stripes mean something as well. So about Dresden, Dresden is the second largest city in the German state of Saxony. That's the state where this route takes place between Dresden and Riesa. So Saxony. Like I said, Dresden's the second largest city behind Leipzig, and I think that's the city we're in rapid transit with the Silver Talon 2. The German subway goes all underground and everything. And it's we have a 55-kilometer run from Dresden all the way to Riesa. It's a little small town. I think 50 kilometers. Northwest of Dresden. It was a boom town in the Industrial Revolution in the early 20th century, and some war production there for Germany in the 30s and 40s, and it sort of had a decline after the steel mills and everything closed after the unification of Germany. Was that 1989, Ronald Reagan. This route has a lot of passenger and freight services. So ever since that restriction down to 120, I haven't seen anything telling us we can change our speed. There's a 16. We can get back up to 160 kilometers an hour. faster than 160 in this train, you want to do the other two routes with the ICE services in them, Munchen, Augsburg, and Schnellfrostrick, Cologne. You can do 230 and 250 respectively on those. Those both have LZB sections of track. Here's a speed restriction of 12. Let's get it down to 12. I think that was 12. So we acknowledge that restriction and we're slowing down. Okay, too far on the brake. Alright, we're at 100 now. Set that to 120. Throttle off, back on. There we go. Look for the speed sign. It's a 13. It was a 13. Speed restriction here, that is a 12. We acknowledged it, nothing happened, but come on, let's slow down now. Oh, we're doing 120 already, so no need to slow down. 85 blinking. Oh, I think that was a 6. Was it a 6 or an 8? Guess it was an 8. It was a 6. Alright, so we were supposed to slow down to 60. We got our brake penalty right here outside of Riesa. Here's a little bridge over the Elbe River right before we get to Riesa. You see the 1000 hertz magnet light was blinking. Let's get a reset. I guess the brakes are okay. Emergency brake doesn't seem to be a problem. Let's just reset our brakes. Just release our brakes. Let's throttle. Turn the brake off. Still got pressure. What's going on here? Got to get across this bridge. Alright, we need some brakes. Okay, that did it. Alright, let's get out of here. So that was a 6, but we're a 70 and 85 is blinking, so we can't go faster than 40. Let's ease on the cross. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now arriving at our final station in Riesa. Please take a moment to gather your belongings. If you're leaving on this train, you can forget about it. We can speed up a little bit. Here's a yellow signal, but I don't see a magnet there. Let's pass on through it. And here we go. We made it. One brake penalty, one little boo-boo. But we'll be back with some more routes. Some more runs in this route. There's a lot of nice services here, so until next time, you guys take it easy. Smash that like for me.